It was March 12th, 2019, and I found myself alone at home. My parents were on vacation, and my sister was spending the night with her girlfriend, so it was just me. As I lay in bed, casually scrolling through my phone, a text from my boyfriend, whom I'll call Mike, popped up. "Hey, what are you doing?" he asked. I replied, "I'm just chilling. Nothing special." We chatted for a while, and eventually, we decided that he would come over to my house since everybody else was gone. I quickly got ready, and after some time, I heard a knock at the front door. It was unusual for Mike. He typically climbed through my bedroom window. Curious, I looked through the peephole, but no one was there. I texted him asking where he was, but received no response. A sense of unease crept over me as another set of knocks, this time at the back door, echoed through the house. Feeling increasingly nervous, I received a text, not from Mike, but from his brother, revealing that Mike had lost his phone and wouldn't be coming over. Panic set in when I received another text from Mike's number, commenting on my appearance in my pajamas. Realizing a stranger was outside watching me, I frantically called Mike's number, only to hear his ringtone coming from upstairs in my bedroom. Racing to my parents' room, I retrieved my dad's gun from the closet, grappling with the terrifying prospect of using it. As I dialed 911, I heard footsteps descending the stairs. The intruder's laughter sent chills down my spine. When he burst into the bedroom wielding a knife, I fired the gun in blind panic, miraculously knocking the weapon from his hand. With shaky hands, I aimed the gun at him, mustering all the authority I could. The police arrived soon after, apprehending the intruder. Upon closer inspection, I didn't recognize him at all. After giving my statement to the officers, my family returned home, shaken by the ordeal, but grateful for my safety. This harrowing experience occurred when I was still living with my parents while commuting to college. We resided in a rural area in Ohio, surrounded by acres of forests and farmland. Given my father's early work hours, I often felt the responsibility of being the protector of the house during his absence. In the midst of our backyard, the police swiftly took control of the situation, apprehending both intruders. It was a terrifying ordeal, one that left us shaken to our core. The presence of these men, their persistence despite our dogs barking, and their attempt to force entry into our home filled us with dread. The sight of the black Cadillac parked ominously in our driveway only added to the surreal nature of the night. As we recounted the events to the police, it became clear that these were not mere opportunistic burglars. Their coordinated efforts, brazen behavior, and attempted intrusion suggested something more sinister at play. Thankfully, the swift response of law enforcement prevented a potentially disastrous outcome. The sight of multiple police cruisers with lights blazing, the officers' decisive actions, and the eventual arrest of the intruders brought a sense of relief and gratitude. Yet the incident left lingering questions. Who were these men, and what were their intentions? How did they choose our isolated home as their target? It was a chilling reminder of the vulnerability we face, even in the supposed safety of our own homes. In the aftermath, we bolstered our home security measures, installed additional locks, and remained vigilant. But the psychological scars of that night would linger, a reminder of the fragility of our sense of security. Them immediately if anything else happens, and assure us that they'll patrol the area throughout the night. Despite the police presence, we couldn't shake off the feeling of unease that settled over us, like a heavy blanket. The thought of someone lurking outside, unseen in the darkness, filled us with dread. The rest of the night passed without incident, but sleep eluded both my mother and me. Every creak of the house, every rustle of the wind outside, sent shivers down our spines. In the light of day, the events of the night seemed almost surreal, but the memory of those chilling knocks on our door lingered, a reminder of the vulnerability of our isolated home. As the days passed, we installed curtains on the windows and beefed up our security measures. Yet, the sense of security we once had was shattered, replaced by a constant awareness of the potential dangers lurking beyond our doorstep. Looking back on those nights, I realize now the strength and courage my mother must have possessed to shield me from the full extent of her fear. She remained calm and composed, a reassuring presence in the face of uncertainty. But for me, those nights were a stark awakening to the harsh realities of the world. They taught me that danger could lurk in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes even the safety of home could be breached. As we moved forward, the memories of those eerie nights served as a reminder to always remain vigilant, to trust our instincts, and to never underestimate the importance of home security. Windows near the ceiling to let in natural light, and the tapping was coming from one of them. At first, I brushed it off as some tree branches swaying in the wind, but the tapping persisted, growing louder and more insistent. Feeling a knot of unease forming in my stomach, I cautiously approached the window to investigate. Peering out, I saw a figure standing in the darkness, their face obscured by the shadows. Fear gripped me as I realized someone was deliberately tapping on my window. Heart pounding, I quickly retreated from the window and debated whether to call the police or wake my parents. Before I could decide, the tapping stopped abruptly, leaving an eerie silence in its wake. Unable to shake off the sense of foreboding, I remained on edge for the rest of the night, listening intently for any further signs of intrusion. When morning finally dawned, I hesitantly ventured outside to inspect the area around my window, but found no trace of the mysterious visitor. Despite the lack of physical evidence, the incident left me shaken and paranoid, constantly looking over my shoulder and double-checking locks before bedtime. The sense of security I once felt in my own home had been shattered, replaced by a lingering fear of the unknown. As days turned into weeks, the tapping never resumed, but the memory of that chilling night lingered, a constant reminder of the vulnerability we all face in an increasingly uncertain world. In the aftermath of the incident, my parents installed security cameras around our home and reinforced the locks on all the windows and doors. Yet, no amount of security measures could fully erase the lingering fear that someone, somewhere, was watching and waiting. The incident with the man on bath salts was certainly bizarre and frightening. It's alarming to think that someone under the influence of such potent drugs could mistake grass for salad and attempt to approach my mother in such a manner. The fact that he was sniffing the grass adds an even more surreal element to the situation. It's a stark reminder of the unpredictable and sometimes dangerous behavior that can result from substance abuse. Thankfully, my mother acted quickly by contacting 911, and the authorities were able to intervene before the situation escalated further. The image of the man being wheeled away on a stretcher by EMTs serves as a sobering reminder of the consequences of drug abuse. Despite the absurdity of the situation, it underscores the importance of remaining vigilant and taking precautions to ensure our safety. Even in seemingly tranquil neighborhoods, unexpected and potentially dangerous situations can arise. As unsettling as these incidents may be, they serve as a reminder to trust our instincts, take appropriate safety measures, and remain aware of our surroundings at all times. Indeed, the experience with the man on bath salts served as a stark reminder of the potential dangers lurking just beyond our doorstep. It's unsettling to think that such incidents can occur even in seemingly peaceful neighborhoods. In the aftermath of that night, my family and I took additional precautions to bolster our home security. We installed motion sensor lights around the perimeter of our property and reinforced the locks on all doors and windows. Additionally, we made sure to always keep our phones charged and easily accessible in case of emergencies. Despite these measures, the lingering sense of vulnerability remained. The realization that someone under the influence of drugs could mistake our property for a salad bar was both absurd and deeply unsettling. It highlighted the unpredictability of human behavior, especially when influenced by substances. As time passed, the memory of that bizarre encounter faded, but its impact on our sense of security lingered. We became more vigilant, more cautious, always mindful of the potential dangers that could lurk in the shadows. But amidst the fear and uncertainty, there was also resilience. We refused to let fear dictate our lives, choosing instead to confront the challenges head on and take proactive steps to protect ourselves and our home. Ultimately, the experience served as a sobering reminder of the importance of remaining vigilant and prepared, even in the most unexpected circumstances. It was a lesson learned through adversity, one that would stay with us long after the echoes of that unsettling night had faded away.